Okay, so I'm going to be potting the Nagami Kumquat. Got all my materials here, and just to show you what I used, I got these pots at Lowe's for about $25. Um, and they're about 20-gallon pots. And yeah, you got the organic potting mix there, Kellogg's. Got that from Home Depot. Of course, I got my dog there, Ralphie, likes to be in all the videos. And yeah, there you can see the name of the potting mix. It's organic. That's what I like to use. You can use any organic mix though. I'm sure that'd be great. And getting ready to drill the holes in the bottom of the pot. I typically do about 6 holes in each pot. And make sure you get all the plastic out of there when you're putting the holes in. And there's the 6 holes. And that one hole down there at the bottom is for the tubing that I'm going to put thread through there. Here's the 1/4 inch barbed couplings that I use, along with that 1/4 inch tubing for the pot, for the irrigation part of it. And that's just what the 1/4 inch coupling looks like. That is the 5 gallon per hour emitters that I use, the Rainbird emitter. And it comes with the, there's the emitter, the little black piece you just put on so it doesn't spray water everywhere. It kind of slows the water emitting a little bit so that it doesn't erode your pot or your plant in your pot. There's the 1/4 inch tubing. And you just got to measure out how much you're going to need to hook up to your tubing that you already have on the ground and through your pot. And I'm just showing you what hole I use in the pot for the tubing, because this is the closest to the edge, and it'll be easier to hook up to the tubing in the ground for the irrigation. And there's the tubing, and that's the 1/2 inch tubing on the ground that hooks up the rest of my irrigation for the pots. And you're just going to hook up the 1/4 inch tubing to that 1/2 inch tubing on the ground. Right here I'm just measuring it out, and I cut the 1/4 inch tubing, figured out how much I needed. And I came in here with the string trimmer and got rid of some of the grass, clear out the spot that I wanted to put the pot in. And these are the concrete edgers that I use to put underneath the pot to make it balanced and bring it off the ground a little bit. You can see I'm just pulling all the weeds and the grass out to make it nice and as balanced and level as I could. Then I go ahead and put the brick edger in there. See what it looks like. A little bit more room than I needed. There's the second one. And you want to try to get these as balanced as you can. It looks better for one, and another reason is when you're watering your pot, water doesn't spill over the side, or the pot doesn't end up tipping over in strong winds or anything like that. So that's what I'm doing here, just balancing it out. And I decided it wasn't as balanced as I wanted, so just move the dirt around a little, add a little bit of dirt, whatever you need to do to get it balanced. It looks pretty balanced to me from here on video. And I put the pot back on, threw the balance on there, looking pretty good. That's all I really did with that. Now I'm getting ready to add the 1/4 inch tubing. this really helps hide the tubing as well, because I'm going to put it behind the pot, so you can't see it as much unless you walk up behind the pot, obviously. But yeah, I'm just threading it through there in that hole, and send it back up, and at this point getting ready to put the dirt in once that's balanced. And here you can see the setup that I have with the top hole in the back towards the fence. I got enough tubing in there once you add the dirt that the tubing's not going to fall down below the dirt. And then that piece of tubing is going to hook up to the 1/2-inch tubing against the fence there. That's what I'm pointing to there once you make the hole. And then these are the tools I use to make the hole. A little puncture, irrigation tool, 2 different tools I use. Just helps with the actual hole. And at this point I'm hooking up the coupling into the tubing, and then I made the hole, hooked up the tubing to the 1/2-inch tubing there, and that's how it should look. I mean, that's why I find that it's easier to trim the grass around the pot, so you're less likely to pull the tubing out of the 1/2-inch tubing there. And then yeah, at this point I'm hooking up the 5-gallon-per-hour emitter to the end of the 1/4-inch tubing that's going to go on top of the soil after filling the pot up for watering the actual pot. So yeah, I'm just adding the soil now, about 1/3. Fill it up 1/3 of the way, then pack it down and make sure there's no air in there, and you can see there. And basically what I'm doing here is putting the whole pot in there, see what it looks like. You know, if I like the direction that it's pointing in, and move it around if you don't like it, which I ended up doing to get to the right position. Then I'm adding the Sure Start, and I also added the mulch, the pine bark mulch, and that is the finished product. I also threw some mulch on the other kumquat tree next to it, because that needed some as well. And actually, before I threw on the mulch there, I actually threw in some fertilizer, organic citrus fertilizer as well. There I'm just showing you how I hooked up the tubing, make sure it's good, and there it is leading into the pot. And I actually covered it with the mulch. Checked it before I threw the mulch on to make sure it was running correctly, and it was. So then I just threw the mulch on top. It actually keeps the tubing cool, and the water comes out cooler for the plant, or the tree in this case. And that's it, guys. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.